What's up, guys? This is your boy, the Dread Man, representing WWG, the Wrestle with Greatness podcast. Now, this post has been making its round on Twitter and social media about who's going to be the bigger star that WWE produces, Oba Femi or Bron Breaker. Now, regardless of who you think the bigger star is going to be, number one is it's WWE Creative's call. As far as who you think's the better in-ring athlete or who you think has a higher ceiling, like that's pretty much up to the opinion of the wrestling fans. And number two, regardless of who you think is going to be the bigger star, I think with the current roster we have now, it's safe to say that WWE and professional wrestling in general is going to be in good hands for at least the next 5 to 10 years. Now, with guys like Oba Femi and Bron Breaker, like they have that look, the look that Vince McMahon likes, the big, tall, athletic, strong, juggernaut looking build, guys who pretty much just look like a truck on two legs. But the only problem that a lot of fans have, and believe it or not, this is kind of self-contradictory because a lot of WWE fans like to say, oh, WWE doesn't like to build new stars. They only like to push the stars that have been the main event for the last 5 or 10 years. They will say this, but then they'll be like, oh, well, you don't want to push these two guys too fast. You don't want to push them before they're ready because you don't want them to burn out too quick, a la Brock Lesnar in his first championship run. Now, both of these guys, their promos and their mic skills have gotten a lot better in like the last year or two. But look at these guys. They don't really need to say much. All they need to do is get in the ring, say a couple words, kick ass, and then walk out. Now, I will say this about Bron Breaker as opposed to Oba Femi. Like, now, it's clear that they're going to be two individual superstars. But I think where Oba would shine as opposed to Bron, Oba would shine more on his own as opposed to Bron, who seems like he would need like a Paul Heyman in his corner or him be the leader of a stable or a faction. And while there's a hell of a lot more talent on the roster they can work with, whether they're new or whether they're veterans, but if neither one of these two guys is holding world championship heavyweight gold by at least the end of the year or the beginning of 2027, something is wrong. And people are begging and pleading WWE Creative to not fumble Oba Femi the same way that they fumbled Keith Lee or Brock Lesnar in his first run or various other superstars. I think in order for them to fumble Oba Femi is for them to keep putting him in meaningless feuds or for him to be in mid-card limbo. And as far as Bron Breaker goes, I think the only way that you can really fumble him is you build him up to be this juggernaut only to have him job to veterans and people who've already been there before. But as far as who I think has the higher ceiling, I can see Braun having multiple world title wins, while I see Oba having like maybe 2 or 3 title reigns, but they're lengthier title reigns. But bottom line, I see Oba Femi being a more long-term project as opposed to Braun, where you could just strap a rocket to his back now and nobody would complain about it. But yeah, guys, leave it in the comments and let me know who you think is going to have the higher ceiling or be the bigger star in WWE in the next 5 to 10 years or so. Who's better in ring, on the mic, and who would have better programs? And who knows? Like maybe in the next couple of years we can get them to have a program with each other. But anyway, let me know, guys. I'm out. See you guys next time. Peace.